Oops, I accidentally bought another car. Now you all know I don't need any more cars, especially needy old broken down cars. But with news of Lexus killing off the GS, yes, they're killing the GS, they're discontinuing it, I just kinda had to have one. And why not start with the first gen? This is actually a 1994 Lexus GS300. They were introduced in 1993 in the United States, and this is my first Lexus ever, so I'm pretty excited. Now, if you follow my channel and you follow the kinds of cars that I usually like to purchase, you'll know that this is not a pristine example of a Lexus GS300. This is kind of a broken down, beat up example of a Lexus GS300. I bought it at an auction. I paid $600 for the car. I didn't know if it ran. I didn't know anything about it. I haven't really spent much time with this car at all, so you'll get to discover all of the issues with the car at the same time that I do. I believe it's been sitting since 2016. And because the car has been sitting so long, we think that the fuel lines are probably pretty gummed up. So I'm gonna go and get some fuel injector cleaner from AutoZone and see if that can help a little bit. It does ping quite a bit while you're driving it, so still needs some work, but at least hopefully I can make it home. Let's find out. Stalled. Not off to a good start. Let's try again. Oh no, I don't think it's gonna run. It doesn't want to run it. Let's see if we can make it anywhere. I think it's gonna make it. Not off to a good start. Alright, if I just keep the RPMs up, I think I can keep the thing moving. It's moving, although it looks like it's about ready to stall. This is one of those nerve-wracking drives where you don't know where you're gonna stall, like if it's gonna be in the middle of a really busy intersection or something. Very likely. Yeah, I think it just stalled again. I've got a lot of experience driving terrible cars. I don't know if I can keep this thing going, but we'll see. Looks like it stalled again. Oh, it just stalled again. Yeah, there's no way this is making it home. Stalled again. Of course I don't have any tools with me. I didn't really bring anything. I thought I was just gonna be able to make the quick drive home. All right, it's actually running now. It's been running for about 5 minutes without any problems. I don't want to speak too soon, but it's looking like I might make it home. Knock on wood. Is this real wood? This might be real wood. I'm not sure. I have to learn a little bit more about this Lexus. I think this might be real wood. This car is not happy, but it is moving under its own power, just barely. Oh, there, don't stall, don't stall. So I think when I get it home, we'll do a quick walk around the car, and maybe after that, I'll see if I can clear out this fuel system, see if that does anything. Let's find out. We made it home just barely. So I want to decompress a little bit after that stressful drive. I don't actually want to try to diagnose the problem right yet. Let's take a little bit of time, do a walk around of this early 90s Japanese luxury sports sedan. So this car was actually launched in Japan in 1991 as the Toyota Aristo, but we didn't get it until 1993, badged as the Lexus GS300. Now technically this is a mid-size, so it would have competed with the BMW 5 Series and the Mercedes-Benz E-Class. And this car was actually not styled by Lexus. This car was designed by Giugiaro in Italy. It really didn't look like the other Lexus models at the time. I've actually always really liked the proportions of this car. It's got a very raked front end, it's got a very low hood. Actually the deck lid is really quite high. That's one of the things I like about this design is the rear end. And you know what? This car just looks kind of badass. It definitely has a presence to it. But that said, you probably could have slapped a different badge on this car and it could have been really any other brand's design. There's nothing about this that really screams Lexus. Now, in terms of performance, this car doesn't really have a lot going for it. It was acceptable for the era, not great. I think 0 to 60 is in about 8.5 seconds. So for a sports sedan, that's a little bit slow. I think maybe Lexus didn't quite want it to step on the toes of the LS. Not that that was much faster. I think they wanted this one to slot in nicely and not actually be a better performer than the LS. So in Japan, the Aristo could have been had with a turbocharged inline-6 and a V8, but all we got was the naturally aspirated inline-6. They should have offered the V8 in this car in the United States. And I say that because this car just never ended up really selling very well. I don't know exactly how many were sold, but it was not that many. So you don't really see these very much. The subsequent generation sold better. And I think maybe partially it was due to the fact that, you know, didn't really quite have the performance and it was really expensive. It was definitely closer to the LS than it was the ES in terms of price. This car is incredibly clean. The body's in really great shape. There's only one small dent on this whole car. Can't even really see it, but the dent is right there, just ever so slight dent. I find it fascinating that a car can exist for 26 years and 151,000 miles and only have one dent. Somebody actually really took care of this car. And of course, the car is filthy. I haven't had a chance to wash it yet, but just look past that and see the beauty of this Giugiaro design. There's a couple scrapes here on the side. I think that's just paint, and hopefully that'll come off pretty easily. The wheels have seen better days, but it looks like just a good cleaning, and those can be really brought back to life. Now this is a totally 90s luxury car thing, the gold badges. Lexus loved to do that back in the 90s and even the 2000s. Headlights are pretty fogged over, but I think I can fix that. So yeah, for the exterior, on looks alone, I'm really happy with this purchase. Now let's take a look at the interior, because the interior is another story. It's not the greatest. Here's that 90s beige Lexus luxury interior. Now it's not terrible in here, it's actually mostly just really dirty. There's a couple broken pieces of trim, but in general, the leather looks really good. The dashboard looks really good. But yeah, it is filthy in here. That's pretty gross. It's mostly just dirt and grease, but pretty nasty. The steering wheel is pretty disgusting. Very clean and simple dash layout. Very Toyota style digital clock. Now let's see if the stereo actually makes any sound. Check out these cool push button controls right here. Very 90s. All right, I gotta see if this tape player works. Let's go grab a cassette. Okay, so I found a cassette. This is something that I haven't listened to in ages. One of my best friends growing up, his dad was in a pretty famous polka band. So we actually used to listen to a lot of polka as kids. So I know that's weird. It doesn't have anything to do with this Lexus, but this happened to be one of the first tapes that I found. Let's check it out. All right, will it work? Will it work? Do you like how I'm more excited about the tape player than I am actually getting this car to run properly? Priorities, right? All right, that's exciting. Let's see what other features this car has. Oh, ashtray, that actually still works. All right, I think we found our first broken bit. Cup holders. Overall, this cabin is in excellent shape. Just needs a really good cleaning. Let's check out the back seat. You know, for as big as the exterior dimensions of this car are, I'm actually surprised that there's not more legroom back here. And I'm 6'3", so, you know, I shouldn't complain that much, but yeah, it's actually a little bit more tight back here than I thought it would be. And these seats are super hard. I wasn't expecting that either. I was expecting a little bit more cushiness coming from Lexus. And so far, I haven't found any real surprises in this car. Have not opened the trunk. I have no idea what's back there. Dead bodies? Hope not. Let's go find out. Well, not much to see here. It is incredibly filthy and surprisingly small. Let's see if there's still a spare tire. There's a spare. Look how weathered that old center cap is versus this one. Put that back there. Safekeeping. All right, let's take a look under this hood to see what we've got in there. What is that you say? 2JZ. So So under the hood is a 3-liter 2JZ GE inline-6 motor. It's got a 4-speed automatic transmission. When running properly, it should make 220 horsepower. Not sure what it's doing right now. So anyway, like I said, I'll do a full review of this car, assuming I get it running. But yeah, it's a unique car. I love the bubbly shapes that were starting to arrive in the 90s as a response to the boxy shapes of the 1980s. All right, let's see if we can get this thing to run properly. I have no idea if I can figure this out today, but let's give it a shot. Okay, so we bought some fuel system cleaner. I'm gonna dump that in the tank and see if that helps at all. Also, this car has been pinging like crazy, so I'm gonna go and check the timing and make sure that it's set properly. It definitely is not set properly, so let's look at that and see if that can help this thing run any better. Okay, fuel additive is in. Let's see if that makes it run any better. It smells awful. I don't know if it's the fuel system cleaner or the fact that this thing is just running so poorly. Whew. I just moved it over to the street because it was smelling up my garage so badly. Yeah, I'm hoping that that fuel system cleaner is going to work, cleaning out a whole bunch of gunk. It's the worst. Okay, I got my little jumper wire. I'll stick it in the diagnosis port and see if I can get the ignition timing set properly. All right, let's see. It's running okay at idle. That's a good sign. Oh no. Oh no, it's bogging. Anything below like 1,000 RPM, it just dies. But above 1,000, it's fine. Let's see if we can actually get it to move. Oh, and it smells awful. I don't have high hopes for this. It's squeaking and groaning and creaking. Oh, that does not sound good. Is it gonna stall? Is it gonna stall? Yeah, get it over 2,000 and it's fine. It runs really good over 2,000. It's only like between 1,000 and 2,000 RPM. All right, let's see if I can get it back to my house without having to push it. All right. Somehow, I managed to make this car worse. It smells so bad. Okay, so that's probably a good place to stop. I took this $600 kind of broken car and made it somehow even worse. I'm not sure how that's possible, but I did it. So that's not exactly how I was intending this day to go, but that's where we are right now. It was running better before I set the timing correctly, so I'm not exactly sure where to go from here. Hopefully I can get this thing fixed up, and hopefully I don't need to enlist the help of a mechanic. We'll see. As you know from my previous videos, I am probably the world's worst mechanic, so why I keep buying cheap, crappy cars is beyond my comprehension, but I keep doing it. So I guess this is where we are. I've got a $600 car that doesn't really move. So what that means is this is likely the first in a series of videos on this Lexus GS300. I will try to get this thing running. I will try to get it driving because just look at it. It's really clean. The body's in great shape. It's got a lot of problems under the hood, but I think we can sort it out. So wish me luck. This isn't exactly how I wanted to end this video today, but I'll keep cracking at it and see if I can get this thing fixed. Thanks so much for watching. I'll have more videos with my fleet of 80s and 90s cars coming soon. I'll be reviewing some new cars, some used cars, and maybe we'll even do a road trip or two. I hope you're well. See you later. What do you think of my new car?
It's great.